So, I'm gonna show you guys. I feel like I should have said like, "Hey, all you cool cats and kittens." Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys something that I'm super, super pumped about, and this is going to be notebook sorts. And the reason why I created this was because this last year, my notebooks were great. They were fantastic. However, my school got a new math series, and the original series was Go Math, and this series was Pearson. Well, the big whale on the front. So I'm going to say it's Pearson though. And one of the downsides of it was it didn't follow suit to what we normally do. And I mean, of course, right? Like that makes sense. You have your math textbook, plus you have your you have your original Go Math series, plus then you have this. Of course, they're going to be two separate things. However, I didn't do math notes last year. And thank God we didn't have like any state testing because my fear was that my kids were going to tank. But then I also kind of did, especially once quarantine happened, I did some massive reflection on myself. And I looked at my kids and I looked at everything that I was doing and saying, is this something that we should be doing? I love my math notes. I love using them. But I ended up walking away from them for a little bit. And I walked away for a year and it stunk. I have to say, it was bad because the kids missed out on a lot. They did. And I made a lot of modifications to my notes. Like, for example, instead of spending 15 minutes writing the list out of everything to do, what I did was I actually typed it up for the kids. And now, the future year, not the year that I just finished yesterday, but my future year, I'm going to be able to say, here you go. And here's all of my material, right? Like, does that make sense? That doesn't even make sense. Beep. So what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to take the newer notes, and these are updated. And I'm going to take these new notes, and I'm going to obviously shrink them again like I always do. But I'm going to have the notes already typed up ready for them, and then we're going to practice that I do, we do, you do, which if you've been a long-time follower of me, you guys know I love I do, we do, you do. And if you don't know what that is, I'll get to that in another video. I'll write that down. Got you. So it was very stressful because I didn't feel like I was doing an I do, especially with this new program. I didn't feel like there was an I do. I felt like the computer taught them how, and we had like a little like robot guy on the screen. I was like, yay, here you go. Next year, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be printing smaller notes. But then I'm also decided that I want them to practice. And yes, my kids, it's actually mandatory by my district or principal, I don't know, one of the two, that the kids have to use their textbook. I know, it's weird. But we have to use it. And with us using that, we have to be able to put that out to everybody. Like, does that make sense? And like give everything the same thing. But then we never got to math groups. Or if we did, I wasn't prepared because like the kids would pick it up like that. Or like they would take forever and we would run into reading time. I mean, it was just so many ifs, ands, or buts, and then there were some days that we started our lesson on time, great. And then we're done at 8:30 and I'm like, what are we doing for the next 30 minutes? And I didn't have my math ready. So I decided to come up with a new product. I don't even know if it's considered, I guess it's a product. I came up with a new idea, and it's number sorts. And I'm going to show you guys how it looks originally before it's like actually given to the kids. Looks like this way. So what I did, sorry, struggling with the camera here. I put their math problem here. It's a small space to work it out. But if you know any of my tips and tricks, one of my tips is the back of the notebook is always used to work it out. Or we have so much scrap paper, grab a scrap paper bit from the scrap paper bin and use that. Either way, and they work it out. I try to tell them, write small, but we know kids. So then they have the answer, right? But instead of them writing it out, what I did, match it. And I think this is probably like backwards for you. This might be like backwards for you guys, but it really does work. So when I put it in the notebook itself, let me show you what it looks like. Ready? Place value. Don't mind the glow. So it started off with here's the number in standard form, then they have to match it to the word form, and then they have to match it to expanded form. I did this for place value, plus I also did it for decimal place value because this new Pearson textbook that we have, we get into decimal place value in like the first chapter. Unlike last year, or 2 years ago, I guess, when we did Go Math, it was place value and multiplication, then division, and then decimal place value and adding and subtracting, which we don't do. So then, they have like, I make cute little things so that they have lots and lots of practice. And this is just a great way for the students to just practice and implement different skills. Is there cutting? Yes, there is. However, here was my thought. There is more practicing of a skill than there is cutting. And my principal, and I don't know, again, if this is other schools or anything like that, my specific principal does not like cutting. Don't waste time with cutting, which is where my math notes came from. So I think that's kind of why I'm enjoying these, because it's 4 simple cuts. Cut, and then these can be cut. And that can be something for morning work to be like, hey, go cut these. You're going to need this for today. I've seen teachers, I'm not this teacher, so don't think it's me. I have seen teachers that have immediately like cut it for their kids, and I'm like, not me. But to each his own. I am here to show you guys tons of different math resources, so stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.